So the puppy's back today. And there's another one hiding over here. She might show up later. Society has convinced us that creativity is optional. It's something for the weekends, holidays, for retirement. But ignoring your creativity is killing your soul. And let's unpack why. I'm Rowley. I'm a creative guide. I help people who are creatively frustrated, whether they can't find the time to do it or they're longing to work on a big, long project that seems to just keep slipping and slipping and slipping. I help people to get to a place where they get those things done and actually achieve their creative dreams. And that could be photographers, musicians, artists, dancers, writers, whatever your genre is. I've worked with all types of people and would be delighted to work with you. I think there's this mindset of be practical now and creative later. I think that's just offsetting a part of you that is really fundamentally important to who you are. I talk to a lot of creative people and they know that there's something below the surface. Now, I'm not talking about the people who've gone off and have careers as musicians or photographers. I'm talking about the people who have gone and gotten a job. They've suppressed their creativity on a level because maybe they were told it wasn't valuable. And I have another video about that and I'll put the link for it up here. But I do think that we still have this idea that I've got to have a job that pays the bills and I can do this creative thing on the side. And you absolutely can, but I think you really need to prioritize getting to that on a regular basis, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly, building in a practice where it happens on the regular, because then you're going to feel more fulfilled. You're going to feel like you're breathing. You're going to feel like you're expressing yourself, like you're continuing to grow. The last job that I took was at Indeed.com. And I remember talking to the hiring manager and he was like, oh, we love your creativity. We love that you've got a YouTube channel. Like there's so much of that you could bring in here and we'd love to see you take it. And at a number of points along the way, he was saying, hey, I still want to see some of that creativity come out. And I was like, well, when do I get to express that? Because all of the meetings and the projects that I'm engaged in, they don't really have much room for creativity. And there was moments of it where I was able to kind of get into it. But in general, in the majority of my work life, everything has been going, well, let's get more efficient. Let's get more focused on this one thing. Let's get this report out quicker. Let's analyze our systems and trim down the fat. And that doesn't leave room for creativity, particularly as you progress through the ranks of, whatever your career is, you tend to end up with more responsibility around leading people, about writing reports, about showing up to strategy meetings, and it's less and less about your individual contribution from a creative standpoint. If that's just me and you have a different experience, let me know in the comments. But a lot of people I talk to have been in that place, and a lot of people who've worked for me, reported to me, have come to that conclusion. And that's where I started this kind of guidance and helping people to find a balance in their life. Like, I always believed that we're all humans and all of us shows up at work, not just the 8 hours a day that I commit to that, but all of us, all of our dreams, our hopes, our wounds, all of the conversations we've just had with our partners or our families, all the worries we have about money or health, whatever it might be, they all come with you to work. And it's very hard to compartmentalize that because if something big is going on, it's hard for that not to show up in how you communicate, how you think, how you plan, and how you move forward. So if you're not connecting to a piece of you that's really important, like your creativity, then how can you show up fully? If you're just racing to get to 5 o'clock so you can put your tools down and go and pick up your instrument and start playing, then what does that look like? And there's multiple ways you can think about this. One, you can be like, hey, I use this time block to get my work done, to get paid, and it facilitates all of the rest of my life. That's definitely one way to do it. Another way is to show up fully to your work. Like absolutely give 100%. Bring your creativity, bring your passion, bring your desires, and see what happens. Like it can go a few ways. One, nobody notices. Two, everyone thinks, oh my goodness, who's this new person? And you start to get recognized and move into reviews. Or three, to go, this isn't really how we expect people to show up here. Maybe this isn't the right place for you. And now all of those are answers. All of those can give you a direction and an understanding of where to go with your career, with your job search, with the things that you're passionate about and you want to go after. And a lot of those are conversations that I've had with people that I've coached, but also people that have worked for me directly as well. So people that I've been their line manager. So I believe there's something really fundamental here. And I talked about it when I was referring to Brian Eno's book. I believe creativity is a human need. It's in Maslow's kind of hierarchy of needs. And I've got a video about it, and I'll link it here so you can watch a bit more about it. But basically, the tenet of what I believe is that we have to express this creativity. Whether it's how we choose to dress, do our hair, or not do our hair in my case, what kind of car we pick, what condiments we put on our favorite meals, all of those are choices out of free will based on our experience, our preferences, and in a lot of cases, our creativity, like how you put things together. Like our house looks amazing because my wife has an amazing creative and artistic eye for color and for mixing and matching things. I can't do that, at least not particularly well, but she's amazing at it. And she is an artist, so it's not surprising that she has that skill set. But I think we all have a need and a desire and a drive to express ourselves creatively. And that's not a luxury. That's not something that just gets boxed off to the weekend or retirement. It's something that you need to express all the time. And it feels stifling if you don't push into that. And kind of on that note, Brene Brown said that creative expression, when it's not realized, it masticizes. It turns into something, it turns in itself, it starts eating itself. And I've definitely been in places before where I wasn't able to express myself creatively at work or outside of work. Probably because the pressures of work being really busy and then family life being really busy. Like when we had young kids, when everything was just revolving around the next nappy change or the next feed or bath time or going to bed. And that's a busy and important time of life to focus. And maybe there isn't space to find creativity there. And that's okay. You just need to keep breathing, try to figure something out. But I do think it's important to recognize that, because I think ultimately it can lead to some level of stress, anxiety, additional pressure, and you not fully being able to express yourself as the person that you were created to be, the person that you long to put that creativity out into the world. I think it's really important to recognize that. That's just on a personal level. On the much bigger sort of societal and even infinite scale, I think that a world looks a little bit like a shit show at the moment. If you look around, I try to keep my head down and just focus on the things that I can control and I can be thankful for, like the beautiful sunny day it is. Like I'm going to get to take my dogs out for a walk in a little while. But I really believe that we need more creative people expressing their creativity and coming up with creative solutions to the problems that we face. Whether that's you making your art and putting it out into the world and making the world a little bit more beautiful, making your community a little bit more open to something new, or you are able to take that creative thinking and think outside the box and find other solutions. But even just finding a way to find community, find connection, and find a way to share that beauty, share your ideas, share your thoughts. I just think it's fundamental for humanity at the moment, and for each of us to be fully showing up as who we're meant to be. I just think that's going to be so powerful. I'm going to work towards getting 1 million people watching these videos. And it's just so amazing when somebody makes a comment like, oh, since I've been watching your videos, I've started bringing my camera with me and going out on walks. Like inspiring the tiniest little bit of creative act. Like that's what I'm here to do. That's what I want you to put your phone down and pick up your camera or your paintbrush or your pen. Take a moment for yourself and the rest of us to do something creative, to connect to that piece of you that's deep inside of you, calling you, and that you're longing to connect with and find time for. On that note, I really do think that we're being distracted left, right, and center. And for me, the biggest culprit is our phone, whatever social media apps we've got on there. And I've created a Space for Creativity starter kit. The link's in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you go sign up for that, you will get a video on digital distractions. That'll just help you to make your phone less attractive. With the starter kit, I'll also send you a PDF on 7 types of rest and a video to go with that. And it'll just help you to go, okay, how do I build myself up? How do I create a foundation and scaffolding so that I'm able to get to my creativity once I've carved out some time? I want to challenge you to no more than 1 hour a day on your phone for the next 14 days. It's really hard. I did take it from 6.5 hours down to 1 hour. But if you're using your phone for navigation and other things like that in the car, it's going to be really tough. But if you're just going to check the basic messages, look at your stats. You're probably looking at 2, 3, 4 hours a day. You're probably picking up your phone 150 times a day. It's crazy the amount of times that we pick up and unlock our phones, check for messages, how many times it's hanging in our pocket. In the starter kit, I'll also give you a couple of other ideas about what you can be doing at the time, how to focus it, because nature abhors a vacuum. So it's not just about creating some time, but it's also about doing something useful with it. So adding creativity in there, adding times for inspiration. Another challenge I've got for you is to think about creativity all the way through your week and not just as this kind of activity that you get to do on the weekend or during your holidays. It is possible to build creativity into your week, even in small sections, whether that's writing in your journal in the morning to get your brain flowing, whether that's watching creatively inspiring content, reading books that are going to feed your creativity and your curiosity. There's lots of ways you can do it that doesn't actually involve you picking up your gear. But you can also try and find 15 to 30 minutes on the daily basis to try something new, to either to play or to experiment or to take something and nudge it forward just a little piece. I've been doing that recently with a new piece of gear, trying to use it 15 to 30 minutes a day, and I'm really making progress. 1, getting to know it, and 2, getting interesting new music out of it. So please do go and try it. Do you agree with me that creativity is a human need, or am I being overly dramatic? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm always up for a good debate. YouTube is going to suggest another video for you here that'll point you in the right direction of digging into your creativity. But other than that, have a great day. Keep creating. I'll see you next time. Look, the puppy's still here. I better bring her for a walk. Okay, see ya.